Hey everyone, welcome back to Mighty 90 Games. Picking up today with episode 2 of Elspeth Von Draken on Legendary Campaign. Last time we had spent the first 13 turns taking a couple of provinces, we had made some good diplomatic deals around the place, and now we've got 2 rebellions to deal with before we get stuck into Vlad von Carstein. So, first thing I'm going to do, before I do anything else this turn, is I'm just going to see who he's already at war with. Midland, okay. Because what I want to do is I want to try, and you can mitigate factions that are pretty short on money. Or you can, when you're short on money as any faction really, but some factions you'll have to sort of lean into it a little bit more. You can, rather than just declaring war on an enemy, you can always do something like this, where you go join war against. And then he would pay me 1,000 gold, which isn't heaps, but hey, it's 1,000 gold that I didn't have before, and I was going to declare war on him anyway. So obviously you need to have met the faction first, and because it was greyed out when we pulled that diplomacy tat up, we hadn't met Midland yet. So now that we've met them, we can do that in a couple of turns when we're ready to declare war on Vlad. Meanwhile, let's just clear out these rebellions, and I'm going to do these manually because I don't know what Vlad's got. He could very easily have 4 stacks by now. He could be probably level 20 by now. He's a very, very tough opponent to deal with early game. So just because I don't know when I'm going to get a face full of him, I'm just going to be taking it super duper cautiously with the casualties in my armies. And yeah, I'll probably be fighting most of these manually just to make sure that we don't get any silly... Well, don't get any units killed pointlessly or anything like that, because, yeah, the AI is bloody bad for that. Just make sure all that artillery is in range of something when the game begins. Yes, it is. Good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to set... This is a pretty good artillery formation when we're fighting a small army, like we've got here. So we can literally just do that. Spread them out nice and wide and just give the artillery a completely open field of fire. And just absolutely let them spray the enemy as they come in. We'll get our heavy Knights of the Black Rose Cav to come out onto the flanks. Oh, they've got some, what are they? Direwolves and direwolves. Okay, that's not too big of a deal. That should be fine. We'll get the cav over here to start dealing with those. I don't really want my artillery shooting at the fast cavalry though, because they're not going to do a great job of hitting it. So, we'll just get the mortars to peg the slow-moving skeleton spearmen. And we'll get the cannon and the hellstorm to just pick on those units right there. Alright, let's get the gunners happening that way. Let's go. I don't really mind if the outriders end up in combat for a little minute there, because those wolves should still suck and die. Get the Knights of the Black Rose out there, looking good. Just get them to bunch up a little bit over here and clear the field of fire for them. Oh, Outriders running. That's okay, no worries, they'll be back. They'll be back. Alright, let's get this Vampire Lord down. So that's a Strigoi Vampire. They are the more bestial looking vampires, you can see there. They're one of the tougher kinds of vampire. So like a Von Carstein vampire, for example, they tend to lean in a little bit more heavily in towards magic. Like a Lamian vampire tends to lean more heavily into... I can't even remember. But yeah, Strigoian vampires, the really feral ones, they're sort of the prime combatant in terms of the Vampire Lord archetypes. So, nice and easy fight, just picking off a couple of units at a time. Got the Lord bogged down in there, that should be fine. We can just bury him under cheap infantry and wait until he crumbles. And we will get these guys out. Actually, I'll go that way with them. Just get them to focus fire in on that. Elspeth can chuck a little magic around. Spirit Leech is really better used on a single target, but it will put a little bit of damage on multiple targets. So, it's better than nothing. I don't have any really much else to be doing with Elspeth at the moment, apart from just charging her into the odd combat that's not going to get her killed. As you saw in the last campaign, she's a lot squishier than, say, Archeon. And just pour the firepower in there. Back you off a little bit. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that other guy coming in. That's good, we don't really need him, to be honest, for this fight. Back you off. And we'll just stick that in fast mode and let them finish wailing down all of that. And we're done. Cool. Oh, easy. So yeah, minimal damage there. A few casualties on a few different units, but it's nicely spread out. They'll heal up pretty quick. And we've only got another rebellion to fight. Probably won't get there this turn. Probably have the end turn to heal. Yeah, probably have over this end turn to heal up before we can hit that next rebellion, I think. Probably just march Elspeth straight back into Nuln, just so that she's in position. And we should start getting, we might even have them already, there'll be some legendary heroes available for Elspeth as well. So you get, what do you get? Yeah, Theodore Bruckner, who's like a tanky mounted guy that can get a, ooh, yeah, we'll replenish that, 25%, that's not to be sneezed at. Yeah, you can get Theodore Bruckner, who's like a tanky melee knight type dude who gets a demigriff mount. You can get Ulrika Magdavar, who is a, like, loyalist vampire. She's actually a Kislevian. But she's a vampire, but she's still loyal to the motherland. She was turned, but is still fighting on the side of good. She's really good. She's a hybrid melee caster and shooting lord. Hero, sorry. She's really good. And then you can also get a hold of Gortrek and Felix. There you go. Yeah, we've already got the one for Theodore Bruckner. So to do that, we need to build this building somewhere. This one here. I think it's that tier of that. So probably what we'll do is probably start building up Fyldorf, and we'll put that in there just to unlock that quest. Because we can already access the Knights of the Black Rose through this building that I've put in the Nuln Garden of Moor, we don't really need that tier 2 or tier 3 cavalry building as much. In my opinion, like, I'm perfectly happy fielding Knights of the Black Rose instead of Reiksguard. Obviously, if I was playing Karl Franz, that would be different because he super buffs Reiksguard. But for Elspeth, Knights of the Black Rose will do fine. So we'll basically just build that building to move the quest along and then probably demolish it and then not rebuild it again until, like, a city's at tier 4 or something so we can get access to Demigriff Knights. The quest to get Ulrika, we will need to build the tier 3 walls, I think it is, for Empire. And then save up like 15, you've got to have a treasury of like 15 grand or something. You don't actually have to pay for her, but they just want you to have the money for some reason. I've never really understood why. It feels very arbitrary, saving up 15 grand to unlock a random hero. I'm just going to move these all onto fast and fastest respectively, just so the end turns go a bit quicker. Yeah. That's a bit better. Don't need to be saying what every single faction in the game is up to, especially not when they're very unlikely to go to war with us or they're allied to us. Or we have treaties. Alright, we got that done. What do I want to pick up in here? Construction cost and time for resources. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. How much money are we earning a turn at the moment? 1,240. That's not heaps. So I think what I'll do, I do like this one. This gives extra experience gain for spellcasters. So I think I'll grab that first. And then we'll come back over here and get that one for the next couple of turns. Pick up our income from our industry a little bit more. Alrighty. So we've got a rebellion here. It doesn't really look like much. To be honest, we can probably just roll that one. But we'll see what happens. What's it going to predict? They do have some nasty units in there, that's for sure. It's going to get that halberdier killed. That seems a bit silly. Oh, they've got a Hellstorm rocket battery as well. Very nice. And they've got a Hellblaster volley gun, which are very cool. And they've got grenade launchers. Okay, dang. That's a pretty tough army. Alright, let's go. Wow, pretty tough army for a random rebellion that only happened, what, last turn? This turn? Over the end turn? No, it was last turn, wasn't it? Yeah. Alright, so we're going to need to deal with... We cannot let those grenade launchers get anywhere near any of our infantry. Got to keep the Hellblaster volley gun from getting a good line on our knights. And we really don't want that... we don't want the volley gun firing on our knights, and we don't want the rocket battery hitting our infantry either. But their war machines are going to have the same range pretty much as our war machines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into an artillery duel for now, because I reckon that we'll win that, because hopefully they'll be stupid enough to spend their time shooting at our characters while our artillery shoots their artillery. Everything else is going in the woods until we've dealt with that artillery. So I'm just going to put these in a control group. I'm going to put that unit of 3 cavalry in a control group there, and I'm going to do the same thing over on that side. So it's a neat little, it's a pretty neat little team to have here with the Empire, is to have unit of Pistoliers, unit of Outriders with handguns, and then a unit of Knights of some description. So you use the more maneuverable, move while shooting Pistoliers to go to unit in. You have the handgunners in a good position to broadside them and just absolutely blast the bejesus out of them as soon as they get into range. And then when they start to charge the handgunners, you pull them out and smash them in with the Knights. It's a nice little sort of 1-2-3 punch combo that you can use as the Empire that does, yeah, it's got give you pretty good results. Alright, so the Hellblaster volley gun has got significantly less range than the rocket battery. So the rocket battery's got to die first. That's how it's going to be. Elspeth's mounted now, as is the engineer. Is he on his regular mount? Yes, good. They get like a mechanical horse, like a clockwork horse. It looks awesome. Like, I love the model for it. It looks so cool. But it's actually worse than just a regular horse because it's really slow. Well, not really slow, but it's slower than a regular horse. And like, if you've got a range capable character on a mount that can fire while moving, like you want it to be as fast as possible. So, yeah, I don't use the mechanical steeds, which is a shame because they look so cool. Like, I want to use them because they look sick. But they're just, yeah, not as good. Alright. So, yeah, our artillery is definitely winning that duel. They are actually shooting at our artillery, which I'm surprised by. I thought they would waste time shooting our characters, but that's fine because our artillery is still winning. And I got Elspeth close enough to throw a Spirit Leech. Again, Spirit Leech is not a good spell to be using on multiple model units, but I don't really have any other options with Elspeth at the moment, because the only other spell that she's got in her repertoire currently is a buff. So yeah, we'll just have to do what we can with her. Alright, doesn't look like anything's going to take the bait on that cavalry block there, so I'm going to bring them back over here and get them in position to deal with these knights that are charging in. These grenades are coming in. Don't like that much. Let's get the cannon to shoot them. And we'll get the Hellstorms. They didn't take any entity. They didn't lose any models from that artillery duel. That's really good. They took a bit of damage, but none of their models actually got killed, which is really cool. Oh, no, don't want them to have an unchallenged shot at the Knights. That wouldn't be very good. So we're just going to use the Knights of the Black Rose over here just to try and goad these grenade launchers around a little while until we can get a good plan for dealing with them. Meanwhile, let's get... Oh, yeah, the cannon's still shooting. He's doing all right. The grenade launchers shouldn't do too much against the Knights, really. Like, if they were standing there stock still in a big block, they probably would, if they got time to be... If the Grenadiers could just sort of shoot them with impunity, they'd eventually do enough damage, but as you can see, the Knights are doing a pretty good job at dodging most of those shots. So just run them around and waste their time. Engineer is doing a very admirable job of tanking there, especially as he's tanking a unit of Reichsguard. So as you can see, I'm just manually skirmishing these. I'm just using the left click and holding down Alt and just sliding these units around so that I can get them to face wherever I want. And then for sometimes if I want them to, change facings, I'll just, click them in wherever. So yeah, this is how you manually skirmish. You just sort of keep moving them around. And it's a little bit, it's trickier. You've got to micro it, obviously. But it's a lot more reliable, in my experience, than the AI skirmish mode. Because, like, they'll just skirmish straight back into a cliff and then just stand there like idiots and get charged. Alright, you can start picking on him. Yep, those Knights of the Black Rose are doing a magnificent job of wasting the grenade launcher's time. It's really good. Good. They're hosing them. Good, good. Handguns are doing great work there. Whoop. Let's get you out of the way. Thank you kindly. Let's get you out of the way. Let's get you to back off. Get you to charge them. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. And we'll just get Elspeth to throw a little bit more magic around, see if I can pick up a few extra kills on her for some XP maybe. See if we can get the Lord dead, just for the moral victory. But, yeah, possibly not. Let's try. Where are you two? Over here, please. Thank you very much. Well, maybe. They're doing a pretty good job of gunning him down. Yep, there he goes. Great. Moral victory. Sweet. That's 2 rebellions dealt with. Dead easy. We might actually have to fight. We might have to fight them again. That's alright if we do. Extra experience and stuff. Yeah, love playing Empire. Very, very flexible roster. You can do a lot with them. You make really tanky melee armies by filling them up with heavy cav and great swords and Empire captains and stuff. You can make artillery lines. You can make gunpowder lines. You can make just regular archer, crossbow, huntsman lines. Probably not so much with the archers, but crossbow and huntsman, they're pretty good. Yeah, I'll take 21% replenishment off that. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, okay, they've run off again. Alright, that's okay. We'll just hunt them down and hit them again. Yeah, that should be very rollable, I think. Especially as we'll be cruising back into friendly territory. We'll heal that over the end turn anyway. I may as well take the extra money. Or the extra schematics. Oh, yeah, that means it got over 100 schematics from that battle. Sure, we'll do that. Well, no, not quite. Yeah, no, 107. Got 107 schematics from that battle. Very nice. Now, the winds of magic are increasing in Norn. Good, good. So let's bring her up here in ambush stance. Just get her as close to that bridge as possible. And then we'll bring the engineer up behind her. And we'll run our scout out this way. See if we can figure out where old Vladdy Von Carston is. So they've got an army there, army there, army there, army there. So they've already got 4 armies. Well, they've got 4 lords in the field. Which is, yeah, pretty brutal. And given that they're vampire counts, each of them could very easily have a whole army already. Might be a completely trash army, but an army nonetheless. Lightning strike. Yes, that will be handy, considering it looks like we're going to be pretty badly outnumbered by the vamps. Now, what do I want to put in the second army for vampire hunting? I think we are going to need probably just some more... We're going to need some more stuff to just hold the line for a start. So I reckon I might just put 4 of them in to start with. Yep, and then... Can we afford... No, I won't grab him yet. Not yet, actually. Let's do it this way instead. 2 of them, 2 of them. Nah. Nah. Do it that way. There we go. Just go 2 and 2 for now. Because I want to save some cash to get some more outriders, because soon we'll be able to unlock this, which gives them the ability to restock ammunition for other units. So 350 missile strength for gunnery units. Yeah, I've got more of them than cannons or anything else, so let's go with that for now. And I think we should only have to do 1 or 2 more upgrades, I think. 3 out of... yeah, okay. Oh yeah, and I've also got to get some more handgunners in somewhere as well for that. Oh yeah, what the hell? There you go, get some handgunners in. That'll be good. That'll be the 3 units that we need, actually. So in order to upgrade the gunnery school properly, you've got to do what it says up here. So maintain a total of 3 units of the following. I've currently got 1, handgunners. So that'll give me the 2 that we've just recruited. That'll give us the 3. And then we need to ensure that the following building has been constructed. Yep, we've done that. And we've performed the 3 gunnery school upgrades. We've done that. Great. So as soon as those extra handgunners are ready, the rest of these should, the next tier of this should unlock. Which means we'll be able to get that ammo restock thing on the Outriders. Which is very, very useful. So that's the building we need to get to Theodore Bruckner. But I don't want to do that yet. Do we have the quest for Ulrika Magdova? No, we don't. But it will be around soon. And the quest to get Ulrika needs us to build tall walls. So I think I'll actually just save the money for now, and I'll start those walls building next turn. Or I could drop them and do it this turn. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, donkey. Alright, so at the top of this turn, we are going to speak to Middenland, and hopefully they'll pay us some money and maybe give us a treaty or two. And in return, we will go to war with Vlad. We'll sack Flensburg and back off, because what we don't want to do is go steamrolling into Vlad's territory with only an army and a bit, because he's very likely to greet us by dogpiling us under 4 stacks of vampire counts. You just saw there on the relative strength ranking that he is way stronger than us. Given that, our best bet is to try and bleed him slowly. Like, we're not going to be able to take him all in one go. It's going to be a bit of a hit and run war. And basically what we've got to do is try and tease him out of his territory. Cool, that's the gunnery school upgraded. Which means we've got to tease him out of his territory so that we can sort of take him out piecemeal and bleed his economy. Because if we just go steamrolling in there, we're probably going to get slapped. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. That gives him another magic missile-y type thing, which will complement Mercurial Shot, which we'll get in a couple of turns. A couple of levels, rather. So for now, let's go back over here, speak to these guys. I'll just see what else I can do diplomatically before I declare a war. Talabicland will take non-aggression. They'll pay us over $1,000. Yep, sounds good. Aveland will take non-aggression. And they'll take military access, which is definitely good, because we need to go through their territory to get to Vlad. If we want to go in a straight line from our territory. Otherwise, we've got to hook around north through Talabicland. Let's go Middenland. We will join your war against Sylvania. And you'll either give us 1,100 gold, or you'll give us a non-aggression pact and 762 gold. I will take the gold. Because odds are these guys will get gobbled up and confederated by Karl Franz before too long. Alrighty. Flensburg, 11 in the garrison. This will be an easy one. Let's go and have a quick sticky over here. Hopefully Vlad's not sitting right there. No, he's not. Good. Probably should have checked that first, but yeah, I didn't think he would be sitting right there. Alrighty. I can probably just roll. Pretty safe to just roll that. If Vlad had been sitting right there, I definitely wouldn't have just rolled that. We'll loot and occupy that, just so we get a bit of money, and I'm not 100% sure she'd have the movement range to get back to pick it up again. And yeah, chaos corruption in this area is really high, so if I pop her out of the city, she will also take corruption damage, attrition damage rather, but that's because of the chaos corruption here, not vampiric corruption, which she is very handily immune to. And we'll get quartermaster. That'll make our economy a bit better. Do I want Mercurial Shot or increase mobility first? I'd rather her be able to move further first. Get Mercurial Shot afterwards. Mercurial Shot's like a AoE, not AoE, it's a magic missile type thing. But it's quite good, especially when you have them on a horse and you can sort of like ride them up next to a unit and fire it kind of through the really long, thick part of the unit, rather than firing head on, where they've only got, 3 or 4 models that it can travel through. You fire it side on, where it can travel through like, 10 or 15 or 20 models. It does a lot more damage that way. Mercurial Shot's a really good ability. Which is why I generally I don't use the mechanical warhorse, because I like my engineers to be able to go tearing up, because the Mercurial Shot's got quite a long cooldown. It's only got 3 uses per battle. I like to be able to sort of have them tear up to where I want them to use it, hit a unit with it, and then bail out again, and then sort of circle back around and just take pot shots from a distance until the cooldown's ready again. Which is why I like my engineers to be swifty. Now, I'm really tempted to slap the Changeling, considering he's just standing there. But that could really spectacularly blow up in my face if Vlad's lurking out here somewhere. He's got to be somewhere. So he's either got to be there or there. That's got the high military presence at plus 20. So I reckon Vlad's probably, more than likely, Vlad is sitting right there in the moot. So if we pop over here and take Wort Bad, vampire counts have got pretty hella movement range. If we just pop out here and take Wort Bad, he will probably be able to 3-stack that city. Well, 1.5 and a bit. So yeah, nearly 2-stack that city. And if we stand outside it, we'll be taking attritional damage. And if we put one army inside and one army outside, then he can cut us off and fight us 3-on-1. So that's a bit of a tricky situation. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to sack this and then back off. Yeah, there's the quest for Ulrika Magdova. Build tall walls, which are currently on the way. Ooh, yeah, get some more industry happening. That'll be good. Put that in so I can get to Empire Captains. That'll be very nice. Oh, yeah, Outriders with grenade launchers are pretty good. But I don't really want to build that up to tier 3 in Nuln. It feels like a bit of a waste to put building in a major settlement that could go in a minor settlement if it's not an emergency scenario. So let's move our second lord up here. We just want him to assist in the battle just for the sake of getting some experience. Yeah, we'll just roll that. That's fine. Just sack it. So hopefully this will annoy Vlad enough to send one of his armies over to secure the city and try and defend it against further attacks from us. And then we can just jump the army that's in the city. Yeah, this guy's not doing too well. I shouldn't have rolled that last one. He's taking damage. It's going to be really difficult for him to recover. She's fine. She can go into... She had the movement range to go into camp stance. Take Headhunter for the extra movement range and the extra upkeep reduction. She has got her... So, with Elspeth, when you hit certain levels, these things just unlock automatically, all the way up to the Doom Firing, and they automatically equip. So, the Everwood Root, the one that she just got, that can be equipped to a Lord or a Hero, and it gives them a lowered Vigor loss rate, so it keeps them fresher longer, and it also gives them regen. That's a really good item. So, we'll be equipping that to her before we head into the next battle. So we'll take out Vlad, and then... I don't know, I think I might want to go and fight some Skaven. Perhaps. If you've got any thoughts about what faction you'd like to see me cover, like if this isn't doing it for you, if there's not a lot of interest in Elspeth, then that's totally cool. Please just let me know. I'm happy to cover whatever. It's really meant to be for your entertainment more than mine. Because I sort of enjoy playing whatever in this game, really. And it's a lot cheaper than having an army of every faction for the tabletop. Because, yeah, boy howdy. Used to be huge into the tabletop. Got quite a lot of stuff lying around still, but, man, could not keep up with an army for every faction. And this way, ha 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 ha. Can play whatever I like, whenever I like. Yep, we'll go assembly line for industry. It's not the most exciting research option, but it will be useful. Alright, let's put him back into camp stance. Just so he's at least not taking attritional damage. Let's see if we can find out where Vlad is. Yeah, I don't trust this at all. I can't see where Vlad von Carstein is. Ooh, that's a worry. Who other enemies does he have? He's gone to war with Aveland as well now. Or they've gone to war with him, one of the two. Could Vlad be punching out into Aveland? Or... Oh, God. Yep, there he is. Hi, buddy. Good thing we've got Lightning Strike. Far out. Alright. So, yeah, what's that? 1, 2, 3... 3 full armies. Okay, so that's... Yeah, that's a decent army. They're very dangerous. Blood Knights with Lancers. Graveguard would be pretty dangerous, but we've got a hell of a lot of heavy artillery to turn them into carpet stains, so that's good. Vlad and Isabella, yeah, they're very, very powerful. So if you're not familiar with the game, Isabella and Vlad are like joined at the hip, basically, like they're eternal lovers, never separates type thing. And that's represented in the game as well. So if you play as Vlad, you start the game with Isabella as a legendary hero, and the two of them get buffs if they're in. They get both of them get a buff if they're in the army together. If you start the faction playing as Isabella with your faction leader, then you start the game with Vlad as a legendary hero, and again you get the buffs. So yeah, they're a really lethal pair together. So we're going to back off, and we're going to try and use Flensburg as bait. So we cannot hope to win against all of that coming at us at once. I mean, okay, so only 4 armies can be on the battlefield at once. So let's go 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's just so much trash there. I mean, there's a few really dangerous units in there, like Vlad and Isabella and the Blood Knights, and the Vargulfs will mess us up if they get into us. But they're pretty easy to shoot down. They're not the fastest things in the whole world. But yeah, as you can see, lots of heroes and characters already. So this will be a fun one to get through. But we are going to need to... Yeah, we're going to need to play this one carefully. Because we cannot hope to just storm in there and overwhelm them. Vampire counts are the ones that do the overwhelming. What tier of building do I need to build to get Theodore Bruckner? Let me just double check. Livery, is that tier 1 or tier 2? Tier 2. Which is actually tier 3, because you can't build one at tier 2. I know what I'm talking about, trust me. Sure, there's no point in putting that in until we get that up to tier 3 anyway. So what might be useful then is chucking in this, so that in 2 turns we can recruit an extra battle wizard or 2. Because, well, extra 1. Having a life wizard would be pretty damn handy. Oh, we've got lots of schematics as well. So, okay, Imperial Gunnery School, yes please. I'll take that. That gives our pistoliers and handgunners, and we don't have any war wagons yet, but when we get some of them, that'll give us the ability to use them to restock ammunition. What do we have to do this next thing? We've got to build the artillery building, and we've got to perform 4 more gunnery school upgrades. Okay, well there's one. Yeah, may as well just do the cannon, whatever. Doesn't really matter, we'll do them all eventually, and we've only got 1 of each, so it's not like there's a clear priority there. We've also got the quest for Elspeth's unique weapon, the Pale Scythe. We'll get on to doing that in a few turns as well. But for now, the goal is just make sure Vlad doesn't kill us all. Gotta get rid of him. You can see how much of a nightmare he's already going to be to deal with. Imagine if we'd let him go another 10 or 15 turns unchallenged. He would have conquered half the Empire by then. He's already gone through a decent chunk of it. So yeah, this is the real first hurdle with the Elspeth Von Draken campaign, is dealing with Vlad. If you can deal with Vlad, then you've pretty well got a straight shot for the rest of the campaign. There are still a few other things that can go wrong, like Arbol can come steaming down out of the northeast and really make your life difficult by flattening Kislev in the first, 20 turns or so. But yeah, if you don't deal with Vlad and you don't deal with him quickly, he'll put you in the ground before Arbol can even get near you. So yeah, gotta deal with this guy. Alright, where did his armies bugger off to, please? I'd like to fight them in isolation as much as I possibly can. Alright, so it looks like they're going to take the bait and come for Flensburg, which is good. That's exactly what we wanted. So let's see, what are our chances of blocking that army? 43%. Alright, it's worth risking. Yes, cool. So that army now can't quite move as far next turn. So hopefully, what we've just done there is ensured that only 1 or 2 armies will hit Flensburg, rather than all of them. Let's put her into ambush stance, and we'll sneak her back over the road, the bridge here rather. So part of the reason I want to get rid of Tzinch is because I want to get rid of the corruption in this area, because if we can get rid of the chaos corruption in this area, then we can actually ambush inside this area and have our armies stand around inside these regions without taking attrition damage, which would be muchly good. Get some spearmen happening, that'll be good. I'm basically just building this second stack, partly as reinforcements for Elspeth in case we take any actual losses of units, and partly just for the old ambush bait and switch. Now, it's also possible that Vlad's going to split off from his other armies and come down here and try and sucker punch us. That's fine if that happens, because that means we should hopefully be able to run these 2 down and deal with Vlad in isolation and take him out without having to worry about all this other chaff up here. And I'll also see, I don't think he'll go for it, but let me just see, if I joined his war against the Fecundites, would he join my war against Vlad? No, absolutely he would not. That's probably because Vlad... Oh, wow. Oh, whoops. I thought that was Karl Franz. I'll try that again with Franz in a sec. I was like, how is France rank 131? Jeez. No, that was my fault, looking at the wrong faction. Let's try this. Will you join my war against the Sylvanians if I join your war against the Fecundites? He will if I pay him 1,800 gold, but I'm not going to do that because I don't really have that much gold lying around. Let me see if I can screw any money out of anyone. Yep, you'll give me that. That's good, thank you. I'll show you another trick here while I'm at it, actually. So, if you go to diplomacy and you sort by factions that love you, you can do this. Just go and ask them for money and they'll give it to you for free. Oh, they'd confederate with me. With their one settlement and no armies. Yep. Hard pass. Yeah, so you can just go and ask them for money and they'll give it to you. You start small. Okay, they won't. But they're probably broke. Let me try this. Whoa! Knocked my microphone over. Let me try this. So they won't give me 200 gold, but maybe they'll give me 150. Yep, there you go. They'll give me 150 gold for free, just because I asked nicely. So yeah, I won't go around and abuse this in this campaign. But yeah, if you ever find yourself really stuck on money, go and figure out who your friends are. And see if they've got any spare cash lying around that they're willing to trade you. Because you don't even have to offer them anything in return. Just be like, can you please give me some money? And they'll be like, okay. Like Karakon, I wonder if they'll give me any money. Let's see. Just to sort of show you that this still works with... Oh, no, not an offer payment, on a demand payment, please. Oh, okay. They don't like me very much. So let's try 150 again. Yep, there you go. 150 gold for free. Thank you very much. So that's like what? 500, 450 gold or something that we've made then, just by asking people nicely? Yeah, so that's a good little trick that you can use if you ever find yourself super short of cash. As with everything diplomatic, it usually works best at the start of the turn when you are at the height of your powers for that particular turn. You've got, the highest treasury that you're going to have. You've got, hopefully, the highest strength on your troops if you haven't been slapped over the end turn. Oops, sorry, just replying to a text message. Cool. Alrighty. That's Flensburg gone. That's okay. That's what we wanted. We wanted to use that as bait. So then we've got an army in Flensburg. One of them's in March. And Vlad stayed right there. That's beautiful. Alright, so now, using Elspeth's lightning strike, we can just go splat and clear those two armies out right there. And then we'll just sack the settlement, back off, and hopefully he'll do the same thing again. Probably not going to recruit this turn or for the next couple of turns, but we will be fighting very scary enemies. So leadership sounds good. Leadership sounds real good. Now I'm going to leave him here just so he can heal up again. Yep, I'm going to do that. Then let's go. What's the stronger of those two armies? I can't see what's in that army. So it's probably going to be... No, I'll go for the army outside the city first, because if I hit the army inside the city first, the survivors from this one will retreat after the battle. It's very hard to kill all the vampire counts because they've got this thing called the Dead Rise again, and sometimes things that have been lost in the battle come back to life at the end of the battle. So survivors will retreat that way, and I might not have the movement range to chase them down. Whereas if I do it this way, the city cannot retreat, obviously. So let's blues in here. And bam. Okay, so we could roll that and get a close victory against all of that. But with Vlad lurking just down there, I don't think that's a good idea. So we'll be lightning striking this one. However, I will probably leave that one there and just see how it goes and see what you guys think of it. And if you're interested in sort of seeing the continuation of this campaign, please let me know what you think. As always, I appreciate the time that you've taken to watch the video. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.